think you guys really, the last time you've seen this thing running was at 17 PSI, and that was at Durhamtown. It's so much faster right now. You guys will see, I think probably in the video today, you'll get a sneak peek of that. But it's running on a full 30 PSI. The tune is where it needs to be, and also the turbo is spooling a lot faster because of some of those changes. So let me show you some of the changes. I put the roof back on. First of all, it's pretty awesome because, you know, protected from the sun, but also I'm hoping that it does generate a little bit of downforce. You guys know I have had the Buggy up over 100 miles an hour. You can feel that it's getting lift. This is going to give me a little bit of downforce, but this is, you know, cheap, I don't know, plastic maybe. Anyway, we'll get some downforce in it. So key takeaways here, 3A92 with a 90 millimeter stroke, and she's revving over 9,000 RPM. Now, I think I can rev it to 10,000. Am I going to? Not today, but we will run, but I will spin it up to 9,000 RPM. Well guys, your intake matters. The turbo is spooling a lot quicker. I think this is definitely adding some downforce, and it's actually making an incredible difference. It feels really steady. Normally you want to come out between 80 to 90. I think I saw like 90, I don't know, 94, 95, something like that. But it felt incredibly stable. Unfortunately, I'm losing daylight, so I do got to get out of here. I wonder what that noise was. Just for the YouTube guys, I post some updates on Instagram from time to time. So if you're following me on Instagram, that's kind of how I communicate with people. Cross bracing. Here's what I've added for you YouTube guys. I've added these two beams here. And of course, I've got the X back here. I wanted to prevent the roll cage from folding from side to side in a rollover. This transmission is so noisy. I know a lot of guys don't like the C60s or whatever. For this project and for its size and weight and gear ratios and everything, it's like the perfect transmission for me, but man, it's noisy. There was a resonator right there at the pipe, and I just took the resonator off. So that saves a couple pounds. And that's the new intake. That's a 3-inch intake down from, or up from 2.25. This one uses a 3-inch because it's a anti-surge turbo housing. So I just had it stepped up from a 2.25 inch to a 3-inch. This is much better, of course, but I think we're ready for Durhamtown. I really do.
1 week later.
All right, quick Milton update. It is about 4 a.m. We're just getting hit with the tail. Been without power for about an hour now. Hopefully that changes soon because I want to get to Durhamtown. Friday, October 11th. The storm has passed us by 2 nights ago. You can see there's not a lot of storm damage. I can finally say Durhamtown is in full effect. In fact, Durhamtown's tomorrow. Today is Friday. We start the trip tomorrow, Saturday. I'll be up there. But I did want to get the thing out just one last time right before Durhamtown to just make sure all systems are a go. Expect it to be that of all things. That's crazy. It sheared right at the weld. I'll show you guys. I gotta push this back. Of course, I'm supposed to leave in the morning and it's midday, so I guess the buggy's not going to Durhamtown. The disappointment is palpable. You guys didn't even get to see me do any power wheelies. So I've got a TIG welder and I've got argon, and I actually do have more of that sleeve. I don't know, I'm gonna be brainstorming on the ride back, and maybe I'll come up with a solution. Right at the weld. I'm gonna try to re-weld this. I've got plenty of sleeve. There's still gonna be some axle inside here. So I'm going to try to cut the sleeve back and take a new piece of sleeve. It's going to be short. It's only going to be about that wide, and then try to weld that sleeve onto both sides. Let's give it a shot. So I'm grinding away at this thing, and you can see where the metal starts to change. Right there. The axles are a very hard material. The sleeve is a very soft material. Straight. Anybody's guess. All 1 2 3
the next day.
Did the repair to the axle last night. Here's what I figured out about that axle, the sleeve, and the way that it's put together. The sleeve is a very soft metal. It's very easy to cut. It's very easy to drill. We saw where the weak spot is. It's where the heat affected zone is. The crazy part is for the last year, I've been putting this thing through its paces, and I've been launching it so hard in second gear, boosted launches in second gear, that it just instantly picks the nose up. I mean, I have been so hard on those axles. No breakage. And then the day before, I didn't even boosted launch. That wasn't even what was going on. And it snapped. Because I was on mushy, soft ground here, bringing it up to hard packed ground with that much power that I had dialed in at that point, which really wasn't even that much, it was only 28 PSI, it would have broke that axle even quicker. Like the minute I tried to launch it, and then I would have been up there with a broken axle. So did I weaken it? Did it become brittle when I was doing the boosted launches? That's entirely possible. The problem is that I did have to weld it again to the end of the axle. So if it breaks again, it's going to be on the weld. In hindsight, what I would have done, the 4 plug welds that I did, I would have done maybe 2 or 3 additional plug welds. And then I would have turned the heat way down and done a very low heat, like as low a heat as possible on the actual axle itself, just to keep as much heat off the actual axle as possible. That's how I would have done it in hindsight. How I actually did it is I cranked the amperage and I blasted the hell out of it. Will it hold 100 horsepower? Yes. Is it going to hold 200 horsepower? Probably. Will it hold 300 horsepower? I hope so. Will it hold 400 horsepower? Unlikely. That's where we're at with the axle, and just hopefully it survives the weekend. One of the things I really love about this trip is the drive up here is just beautiful.